What's up, plant junkies? Jody here for another plant video from plantjunkiecreations.com. Today I'm going to be going over the basic plant care of this beautiful Hoya known as the Hoya Shepardii. She's also known to be nicknamed the string bean Hoya because she looks like a string bean. I would consider this Hoya to be an easy plant to take care of for multiple reasons. The first one being she's very drought tolerant. You can go weeks before watering her. She also doesn't mind being in a cool area. So if your house is on the colder side, that's great because it encourages blooms. Another reason is she likes medium light, so you don't have to have bright light to own this Hoya, and I'll go over that in the basic care. The light requirement for this plant can tolerate medium to bright indirect sunlight, but thrives best in that bright indirect sunlight. She does really well in an eastern facing window, receiving that morning sun exposure. When she's not receiving enough sunlight, for example, during the winter, I would supplement her with an artificial LED grow light. The water requirement for this plant, you'll want to water on a 7 to 10 day cycle, but it's okay if you miss a watering because she's forgiving and very drought tolerant. You can go weeks without watering her, but if you want to see her push out new growth, it's good to let her dry out in between those waterings. What you can do is use your finger, and you got your second knuckle. Stick your finger into that second knuckle, and if you feel moisture, don't water her. Just let her dry out in between there. Typically, it takes about a week for a plant to dry out. And I purposely like to keep these Hoyas in terracotta to help with that. Some signs of when to water, you'll notice that the leaves are very bendy and flexible, and you'll start noticing wrinkles on her leaves. Let's find a good one. You see those wrinkles right there? So that's a thirsty Hoya, opposed to a hydrated one, which is not as flexible. If I were to bend this like the other plant, I probably would snap this leaf right here. Another sign of when to water, or if you're not watering enough, is you get these long tendrils, and you see how green that vine is. Well, you'll notice on the tips that they start browning. That is dead right there. The soil requirement for this plant really appreciates a well-draining epiphytic mix, meaning a wood-based well-draining mix. And what I like to use is bark, orchid bark, coconut husk or cocoa chips, and sphagnum peat moss, perlite, and charcoal. I also like to add worm castings to help with some nutrients for it. The fertilizer requirement for this plant, you'll typically want to fertilize 2 times a month during the growing season. And what I like to use, I rotate between, and the first one being Gringo Rasta Rise Up. When fertilizing your Hoyas, they only need a quarter dose. They don't need that full amount. So I'll take a quarter of the spoon and mix it into a gallon of water and fertilize. Another one I like to use is orchid bloom. And although this says orchid, it works really well for Hoyas also. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to click on that like button. Also, if you're interested in plant care content, click on that icon to subscribe to my channel.